The Seaside Seabird Sanctuary is on the Gulf Coast, just south of Indian Rocks Beach, which is south of Clearwater Beach. If you ask directions from Siri, try to get the actual address. And the address is 18328 Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores, Florida. Because if you just tell Siri, like I did, navigate to the Seabird Sanctuary, Siri won't take you in the front entrance. I drove right past the front entrance. Don't know how I missed it because there's this huge pelican statue right outside. And I went right past it because I was paying attention to Siri. She takes you down all these little side streets through like some residential neighborhood and parks you behind the place. I'm back there. I'm like, some dude who's outside in his truck. I'm like, am I in the right place? Is this the bird sanctuary? He's like, yeah. I'm like, is this the back door or the front door? He's like, oh, that's the back door. But if you park there and walk between those buildings, you walk right in, which is what I did. I parked and walked between some buildings and went right in, but I definitely didn't get the front entrance in. So go by the address, nice parking lot right in front of the place. The first day I went there, I was walking in and I came upon a volunteer named Carol. I walked up and I saw her holding an American kestrel and talking to a small group of children while informing them of several facts, not only about the birds she was holding, not only about the birds that were there, but birds in general. And she was totally entertaining these kids. And after the kids left, I spoke with her a bit about what they do there. They're the primary bird hospital in the entire area. She said they had about 100 birds in their hospital section while I was there at the time I was talking to her. They have like an inside hospital area and a couple of outside areas as well. When it comes to the birds there, she said if they can heal and release the birds, they do so. If the birds cannot be released without dying, they keep them there and they give them a home. And oftentimes that'll happen when a bird has an injured wing and can no longer fly. She says that mostly happens when birds get tangled up in netting or in fishing line or something, and they can't get untangled in time to restore blood flow without losing use of the limb. So you walk through this place, and they have cages set up all throughout the place, and there are injured birds in these cages. But even though you walk through here and you see a lot of injured birds, you can see the birds with injured wings and so forth, they're doing some really good things here, and this place has a really good feel to it. The birds there seemed pretty happy for the most part. This place is right on the beach. They've even got a path out the back that leads straight out to the beach, and you walk out that path and there's birds everywhere. I mean, everywhere out there. Interestingly enough, when I was talking to Carol, I was asking her how the birds come in. I'm like, people catch the birds and bring them in or what? And she said, a lot of times people just catch them and they do bring them in. She said they've literally had on 3 occasions birds come walking injured straight up that path from the beach. Like they almost know there's a bird hospital there or something. She also said the most common injuries were related to fishing line and fish hooks caught in the mouths or throats. Pelicans are very common this way. She says they get a ton of birds in from down by Sunshine Skyway where pelicans and such will literally dive and try to eat the bait off a line while a fisherman is casting in the water. So let's say somebody's up on a pier, they're casting in the water, and next thing you know, their line never hits the water because in swoops this bird and swallows their hook. It's not really anybody's fault. You can't blame the bird. You can't blame the fisherman if he doesn't even see the bird in the area. But it's a horrible thing to happen. It happens very, very commonly. One of the things that makes this place so cool is that while they have all these injured birds in cages that they're caring for, they also have healthy and free birds living and nesting in trees all over the place. I mean, big old birds. So they have these cages and they have these huge trees that span over the top that shade these cages. And in these trees are huge birds. I mean, like 2-foot across nests. And these birds are sitting up in the tree and they're sitting in their nests and they're fighting with each other sometimes. And they're walking around on the grounds and so forth. And all the birds walking around free in that area, they're amazing, and they're a big part of the ambiance of the whole area. When I was talking to Carol, I asked her, why are there so many free birds living here? Do you guys feed them, or do you do anything to try to attract them in any way? And she said, well, the birds are all pretty much here, and the nests are all here because it's not easy to find big trees like this in the area that they will nest in. In the beach area out there, there are mostly palm trees and they're not big enough to nest in. So all the birds being there were mostly, according to her, a product of the large trees that they had in the area that they could nest in. Entry to the Seaside Seabird Sanctuary down by the seashore is free. So, to my understanding, everything they do is based off of donations. I left a donation after seeing all the things that they do and how great the place was. But just because entry is free, don't think you're going to be pushed for donations. They do not push it at all. As a matter of fact, when I spoke to them, they never even said a thing about it. They didn't mention it. I had to bring it up, and I only brought it up because I'd read online about it. You could go in there and walk the whole place, talk to the staff, and never be asked to leave a donation if that was your thing. So Seaside Seabird Sanctuary is one place that I would highly recommend taking a visit to, and I would recommend supporting, especially if you're going to be in the area at all. You can easily see the whole thing in about a half hour. So incredible place.